What's up, Maverick owners? So I've had my truck for about 6 months now. This is the Ford Maverick Hybrid in XL. I want to do a quick update for the channel and talk about my ownership experience in the last 6 months. And also, I got 5 ways I would change the truck if I were Ford to make it better. So we'll talk about that. First, let me just say that I've had the truck again for the past 4,319 miles. That's where my odometer currently sits at. Zero problems in that time, no problems at all. It's got a few quirks here and there. It makes noises while it's just sitting here sometimes, these clicking noises coming in from underneath the truck, which are a little bit weird. And then another weird thing is going downhill, like, on a steeper hill, like around 40 coasting. The engine revs a lot sometimes. But other than that, zero problems, never had to go to the dealer. And the mileage currently sits at about 37.7. I went down about 3 miles per gallon over the winter. So I'm here in Connecticut, and during the colder months, I went from like 41 down to 37. And now it's starting to rise again as the temperatures are starting to climb a little bit here as spring goes on. But yeah, no problems with the truck at all, and I've been very happy with it in that time frame. It's even making me money. So quick story before I get to the 5 changes. I went to Home Depot last weekend and pulled up in front of a customer who's coming out of the store, 2 women, older women, and they had this giant trestle, garden trestle, that they're trying to put in their little 4-door sedan, and it wouldn't fit, obviously. So as soon as I pulled up, she saw my truck, and she came over to me and said, "Hey, where do you live?" I go, "I live in this town, just a couple miles away," and so did she. And she asked me for a huge favor. She asked me if I could actually put the trestle in the back of my Maverick and drop it off at her house on my way home. She was very nice about it, so I said, "Okay, throw it in the truck." I went to the garden center, got my dirt and seeds for my yard, and I put it in the back there. So I drove it on my way home. It was on my way home, actually, so it wasn't really out of my way. I brought it to her house there. She met me outside, and she gave me $10 for it. So I was like, I didn't want to take the money, but yeah, the truck's even making money for me now on the weekends, all right? So it doubles as a little delivery vehicle if you want to do that. Anyway, all right, let's get to the 5 things and kind of go from there. Again, these are my personal opinions I'm going to talk to you about, so you may agree or disagree, but let me know what you think in the comments. I'd love to hear what you guys think about what else you would change on the Ford Maverick, particularly the hybrid. All right, so the first thing I change about the Ford Maverick Hybrid is the app, the mobile app that Ford gives you. So with that app, you can do a few things like start your car, you can lock it, it shows you your oil status life, so you can make that oil change. Mine's at 54%. It shows you the last address you parked at, and that's about it. And I think there's some charging station maps on there as well. But what I would do if I were Ford is give me more data about the fuel efficiency of the Ford Maverick Hybrid. I bought it because of that, right? I want to know how much fuel efficiency I'm getting on each ride. At the end of each ride, it shows you on the display screen inside the dash how many miles you've driven on that particular trip you took. Like, show that on the app. Why don't you do that? Give me that data. I want to see that data. It's just going to make me use the truck more and get more into it overall. And also show the trip history too. Like, show me you're tracking the trips in the dash. Transfer that to the app as well, and show me the trip history and how much electric miles I'm getting on each of those trips. I would love to see that data inside the Ford app. All right, so number 2 thing I would change about the Ford Maverick is this thing. You know it. Why do we have a key in 2024? All right, I came off a Subaru Crosstrek with push-button start. I bought that car back in 2015. I know somebody else who has a 2011 Kia. That's got push-button start. So that technology's been out there for years, and you're forcing us to be, to use these damn keys. You can only get a keyless start with the with the Lariat. To me, that's just dumb. Like, make push-button start part of every truck, every model, XL, XLT, and Lariat. It's just a convenience thing. It makes you, get in your car faster. You don't have to take the key fob out. You can just get in the car and go. And to me, that should be standard across every car made in America today. All right, number 3 is the infotainment system. So, Ford makes Sync 4, which is their highest level of entertainment system. But let me ask you a question, guys. Would you buy a computer with, running an old version of Windows on it? Of course not. You wouldn't buy an iPhone with, an iOS that's 3 years old. Why do you have to buy a car with an older system in terms of the infotainment and software? That makes no sense to me. Ford owns Sync, the software, right? And even in the Lariat, you only get Sync 3. Why can't you get Sync 4? Why can't Ford put Sync 4 in every car they make, right? I don't understand why that thinking. That's kind of seems like just the old way of thinking about making cars today is, oh, just if it's a cheap truck, so just give them a cheap infotainment center. When they own the software, right? If you put Sync 4 in every car you make, you're going to sell more cars that way, I think. But you guys tell me. But yeah, this is a very basic system. It doesn't do much. I even took off the wireless CarPlay, the AutoCast I had, because just really, at the end of the day, I just didn't really like how it works. So I'm just sticking with Bluetooth now and terrestrial radio, and it works fine that way. So no issues there. If I ever want to use the CarPlay, I'll plug in the phone. I can get the maps. But yeah, to me that's a big fail from Ford with the infotainment system. I also heard too on some of the one of the car magazines, they're supposed to make this bigger in the next version of the Maverick in 2025. So there was some spy shots of a bigger screen. So maybe we'll get more of this better infotainment system in the coming years here. Okay, guys. So the other thing I would change about the Maverick, this is number 4 on my list, is I would make these storage compartments optional because I'd rather have a flat floor back here. So I've owned both the Nissan Frontier and the Honda Ridgeline, and both those trucks let you put the seats up here in the back, and they expose a flat floor. And to me, that's great. Better for storage. Better if you have a bigger dog. If you want a bigger dog, so they can walk back here. They can't walk on this. You have to put the seat up, and they're kind of squished back there. I'd rather if I have a big dog, have a flat floor for them. If I want to put stuff like pizza boxes back here, it's just gonna, it's gonna topple over like that with the storage compartments. Now with the hybrid, you have the 12-volt battery back here, and so maybe just have the storage on this part of the truck. When leave that side of the truck open and flat for storage like that. So I prefer that kind of configuration. So maybe Ford can make that an option in the coming years. And lastly, number 5 on my list is, you see that kayak up there? Well, I really have no good way of transporting that kayak, which kind of makes it unusable for me at this point. If you look at the Nissan Frontiers and even the Ridgelines, they even come with OEM roof racks, which are great for kayaks, in my opinion. And I really miss that from those previous vehicles with this Maverick here. Yeah, you can buy those Thule ones, but they're not really rated for any kind of weight. So I'd rather be able to buy an OEM roof rack installed at the factory so I can use my kayak and use my e-bike rack at the same time. Yeah, I could throw the kayak in the back of the truck, have it stick out 4 feet because it's a 10-foot long kayak, but I can't really put a kayak and an e-bike on my truck at the same time. I have an e-bike rack, and I like to do both sometimes. So Ford is not making this truck as versatile as it could be without an OEM roof rack. So Ford, get on that. That's really the number one thing I'd put on this truck today to make it even better. So let me know what you guys think. Again, these are my personal opinions. You may disagree or agree, but I'd love to hear your comments. And if you are thinking about getting a Ford Maverick, get the hybrid. You're going to love the fuel mileage you get, and it's just a good-looking truck. It's inexpensive, and it works for me, guys. So thanks for watching. See you next time.